baseball here inside T-Mobile Park. The now further depleted starting lineup for Joe Espada. Man, the Astros just been hit hard by the injury bug. Altuve leads things off, and then of course Yordan Alvarez with Paredes DHing. Carlos Correa had yesterday off. He is back in the lineup today at third base. Cam Smith's had a really nice series in right field. Nick Allen is the starting shortstop for the Astros, who found out today Jeremy Pena, their Gold Glove shortstop, is on the injured list. He had to exit the game the other day and is now on the IL for Houston. So it gets even more difficult for the Astros and their third-year skipper in Espada. All right, so George Kirby toes the slab today for the Mariners, making his fourth start of the year.
Yeah, George has got 20 innings logged so far, giving up only 13 hits, 8 runs, 16 strikeouts, and 5 walks. He's been especially tough against Western Division rivals.
StatCast powered by Google Cloud, his arsenal.
He's got that four-seam fastball that he just throws seemingly almost all the time. The sinker, slider, a knuckle curve, and a changeup.
Now, we saw this battery quite a bit last year. Mitch Garver with George Kirby as Cal DHs today. Garver saying last year that he really enjoyed catching Kirby because of the diverse arsenal that you were just talking about, and he just said he was a really fun guy to catch as a result of that.
Yeah, you saw a pretty good mix as far as percentage of pitches thrown. He uses all of them. He doesn't hold anything back.
It is Altuve leading things off. And the Astros second baseman fouls away the first pitch at 97 miles an hour. Kirby's velocity out of the gates has been terrific. He's averaging about 97 on both those fastballs. Astros came to town limping after being swept in Colorado by the Rockies. And they were really trying to right the ship against a Mariners team that's obviously been anchored by great pitching this year, but was really struggling offensively. You know, the Mariners have won the first 3 games of this series against Houston, and today go for the sweep. High fly ball into left field towards the corner. Randy sees this ball in foul ground, and he makes the catch.
Rosarena staying with this ball. It disappears from our side up here as he goes right behind the wall there.
And maybe no one will ever see that. We're back. He did catch it. That's the important thing. So there's the game's first out. Here is Yordan Alvarez to right center field. Julio and Rayleigh, and Julio makes the catch. 3 pitches, 2 away.
Astros looking like they're going to be very aggressive against Kirby here this afternoon. They know he throws strikes, and he does like to try to get strike 1.
He and Felix, King Felix, that is, obviously very different pitchers, but there is an element of teams are so aggressive against Felix back in the day. They didn't want to get to 2 strikes. They did not want to see the changeup. Sometimes it would work out for other teams, but other times you would look up in the 7th inning and Felix would have 70 pitches.
Yeah, especially when he was throwing strikes. He was so in command of a baseball game.
Right. And for Kirby, there's hardly a pitcher who throws more strikes than George, so teams are typically fairly aggressive against him. Astros are among the most aggressive teams as it is, top 10 in baseball in swing rates. They simply like to get the bat off the shoulder more than most.
I was going to say there must be something to that because they are one of the best offensive teams in baseball.
Well, they were up to their old tricks the first 2 games. They're averaging about 6 runs per game coming into the series. In the first 2 games, that's what they looked like. But Logan Gilbert and the Mariners pitching staff holding them to just the lone run yesterday. The 0-2. Kirby 8 innings his last start, already 2 quality starts in his first 3. And then it's something the Mariners have been so good at over the years, and once again this season they lead the majors in quality starts. In fact, the rotation leads the major leagues in innings pitched as well.
Certainly one of the great strengths of this Seattle Mariner ball club.
Line drive towards the alleyway in right center. Paredes is aboard as Julio gets there. It's a 2-out single for the Astros DH.
Kirby just trying to pound that outside part of the plate to Paredes, who's a dead pull hitter. You don't often see this. Good approach right there by Paredes, getting on top of that fastball that was up and away.
Remarkable, the Mariners winning game 2 despite the Astros knocking around 17 hits. Christian Walker takes outside.
Walker off to a nice start this season, hitting .298, 13 RBIs already.
A couple of years ago when Walker was with the Diamondbacks, he and Kirby had a matchup in this ballpark. It was over 10 pitches and Walker ended up getting a base hit out of it. And talking to Walker the next day about facing Kirby, he loved the challenge because he knew Kirby was going right after him. There was a lot of high fastballs, and to Walker's credit, he made the adjustment and was able to get on top of one of them.
Just good old country hardball. Here's my best. Let's see what you can do with it.
And I think George got to a point as that at bat dragged on farther and farther that he was just going to try to beat him with his best pitch, which was his fastball. Ground ball over to Donovan. 97-mile-an-hour fastball that time, and Walker is retired. Kirby a scoreless top of the first inning. Now the Mariners coming up. Usual for the Mariners. Cal Raleigh DHs today, and Julio batting third. Val, it has really been a nice series for Julio. He picked up his first double, his first home run. We had not seen an extra base hit from Julio, but that home run the other night really was a galvanizing moment for the Mariners.
Yeah, you almost sense that he is really kind of broken out of that early slump that we saw him in the first few games. Julio 5 for 11 in this series with some power.
Mike Burrows is on the mound, his 4th start this year, the former Pirate, first year with the Astros.
Burrows has 15 strikeouts in 22 innings, covering 16 innings.
And Donovan with an early challenge.
The batter is challenging the pitch.
StatCast ABS powered by T-Mobile.
The pitch is a strike. Seattle has 1 left.
Well, an early challenge that does not go Donovan or the Mariners' way. So it's 1-2, and the Mariners down to 1 challenge the rest of the day. Still a ball and 2 strikes to Donovan. Another foul ball back. Burrow's a pretty good fastball, averages 95 on it. A lot of changeups as well, so certainly all these lefty hitters for the Mariners, Donovan being one of them. We'll have to keep that in the back of their mind. That was a changeup. Walker off the bag, and Burrows covers. It has been a pretty wild series offensively for the Mariners. They've won all 3 games. They have scored 23 runs on 24 hits, and drawing, Val, 26 walks. Those walks are tied for the most in a 3-game span ever issued by the Houston Astros.
That's not what you want to be talking about if you're the Houston Astros. But just imagine 52 base runners that have been on base.
Broken bat, and this should work out. It dumps into left field. Cal Raleigh with a 1-out single.
We have certainly been surprised with the lack of control by the Houston Astros pitching staff. Here's a look at the arsenal, brought to you by StatCast 3D by Google Cloud. Let's got four-seam fastball, that changeup that we've seen a number of times already, a slider, a sinker, and a curveball.
Here is Julio, a 9-game on-base streak for the Mariners center fielder. 1 out and 1 on. Well, the Astros rotation last in baseball in walk rate and nearly last, 29th to be exact, in first pitch strike rate. So they are consistently falling behind as the count goes to 1-0 to Julio.
That fastball from Burrows throws pretty consistently at 95 miles an hour.
Astros announced today two pretty significant roster moves. We mentioned Pena going on the injured list. He was pulled from the game the other day because of a knee issue, but it's officially a hamstring strain. And then Amai, who started game 1 and returned home, he is on the injured list because of right arm fatigue. Which I'm not sure if I've seen arm fatigue 2 weeks into the season before, which makes you wonder if
there's something else.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
For the Astros' sake, hopefully there's not, but it is curious.
You don't often hear that adjective used this early in the season.
Hit hard, tight to the line, and it's off Correa's glove into foul ground. Cal Raleigh into third base. He'll be held there. Julio with a rocket double. That was nearly 110 off the bat. Now the Mariners in business.
Yeah, we're just talking about how well he is giving his approach here at the plate. He gets that fastball, a little two-seamer on inside part, pulls his hands in, gets the barrel of the bat to it, and that's a hot shot off the glove of Correa. Julio now 6 for 12 in this series.
Not only have the Mariners scored a lot of runs this series, they've scored early in these games. 6 runs in the first inning. They had scored all of 3 in the first inning leading into this series. Naylor fouls it away for strike 1.
This is a situation where they have thrived in this series as well. Good situational hitting. Runner on third. 1 out. Naylor looking to drive the ball into the big part of the yard. Give Cal plenty of time to get in from third.
Naylor shoots this deep right field and gone. Josh Naylor. He's been waiting for it. His first of the year is a 3-run homer in the first inning.
Now that is some good situational hitting. Oh, you know, that feels good for Naylor. Starting off a little slow, you know it's going to come around. But getting that first one and that big 0 off the board.
Strike 1 to Randy. It was a matter of time. I think, is Julio excited for his teammate?
Oh yeah.
Well,
he knows that feeling from yesterday.
I was going to say, right? They've both been through this. Randy to straightaway center field. Trammell is out there.
Listen, when you're in the deepest, darkest part of a slump, there are times that your mind goes, will I ever get a hit, or will I ever hit a home run? Well, Josh Naylor does it right here. He gets that fastball middle part of the plate and just crushes this one. Cam Smith can do nothing but watch it go over the wall.
Here's Raley. Well, the Mariners, I should say Julio, came into this series having the most plate appearances in baseball without an extra base hit. He doubled and homered the other day to get that monkey off his back. And not far behind him on that list was Josh Naylor. So nice to see the ball go over the fence for both those guys in this series.
You just never know what is going to kind of break the dam for you, right? Like, is it a broken bat base hit? Is it one swing of the bat with the home run? It can come in many different ways to find that timing and that rhythm up at the plate. So hopefully for Josh Naylor, that's the turning point.
And breathe a little easier.
Sleep a little better.
Raley swings and misses to retire the side. Cal a broken bat single, Julio a double, and Naylor a 3-run bomb.
Julio Rodriguez in the dugout, but think of it like this, right? Obviously signed a 5-year deal. He was kind of that catalyst in the playoffs. He was really vocal in the clubhouse, in the dugout, and he's been vocal too. It's just tough, man. And Val, you know this, when you're in a slump, sometimes you don't want to be the loudest guy in the clubhouse, that's for sure. But man, team leader, all of a sudden he's in that home run column finally here in 2026.
And your teammates are watching you. Watching
right.
how you respond, how do you react when you're in the middle of adversity, and I think they have such a tremendous amount of respect for Naylor.
For sure.
Here is Cam Smith. Well, that reminds me of something I heard Brendan Donovan saying in spring training. He was asked the question in so many words, what makes a big leaguer? And his response was, being a big leaguer is being the same guy every single day. And I can only imagine how difficult that is to not ride the wave. This has a chance for 2. Young's got it. And that wipes away that leadoff single by Correa. Because everybody has the ups and downs, but it's how you respond to it, right?
It is all about consistency, right? You've got as you mentioned, the ups and downs of a season. 162 games. You're not going to stay hot the entire time. There's going to be times when you go down into the valley, no pun intended, and you're thinking, man, I'm never going to get out. How am I going to get out of this ditch that I'm in?
Hey, by the way, too, you know, Dan Wilson told us at the beginning of this series, look, Brendan Donovan's a little bit under the weather. Man, he was telling me yesterday he could barely get out of bed. He had to stay at home, listen to us. He said, I was listening to you guys, you know, on the broadcast. He goes, man, I just want to be at the field. He goes, but man, he said that's the sickest he's ever been. So you talk about dealing with some of the downs, that's for sure. Wow.
I thought you were going to say that he loved our broadcast.
I asked him, I said, can you give us a review? He said, yeah, no comment. I'm done with this interview. I was like, oh, okay, I get it.
Well, let's put it this way.
He loved you, though, Val.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, right.
Glowing review, but Goldsmith and myself.
We motivated him to get back to his job. You make it sound like there was a headline in a newspaper one day that said down in the valley.
There were many throughout my career. Trust me. You know, one of the things too that talking about signing that deal sometimes, and I know I went through this when I first signed my first multi-year deal with the Mariners. I felt like I had to be 10 times better than I was, and you put a lot of pressure on yourself to kind of prove to people that you're worth that what you just signed. So signing a big deal like that, different guys kind of react to it a little bit differently. I did not handle it very well. I tried too hard, and I got myself down in the valley. And it was, again, like climbing Mount Kilimanjaro all the way through that season.
And that last pitch was a close one. No challenge by the Mariners, though. Kirby was walking off the mound. Looked like some of the infielders were walking towards the dugout. On a 1-2 now. Soft chopper. And it takes Naylor right to the base. And Kirby faces the minimum thanks to that double play. Early run production for the Mariners. Cal Raleigh broken bat bloop into left. This ball was 110 off the bat from Julio for a double before Naylor's first home run this year. Just over the wall in right field. A 3 spot for the M's early. JP on the first pitch. Grounds out to Altuve. 1 pitch and 1 away. Now, for all the walks the Mariners have drawn in this series and all the runs they have scored, it does feel like that they have left some runs on the table at times in these first 3 games. So with that in mind, more kudos to Naylor of the Mariners to get them on and bring them home in that first inning.
Yeah, nothing quite like scoring first in a game. Nothing quite like a 3-run home run as well in the bottom of the first. Even though the Mariners have scored 23 already, well, now there's 26. But they had 52 guys on base, brought in nearly half of them.
Just the 4th game for Garver. Is out to center field. Trammell Trammell, and Altuve. Trammell can't get there. It's right in front of him. And Garver put it in exactly the right spot.
With the big full swing, that ball coming off the end of the bat. Trammell hesitates. And now he's got to put it on full speed, and that ball dropping in front.
One out, one on. Here is Cole Young. He backs away from strike one. And the Mariners are really hoping to take full advantage of this banged up and bruised Astros roster, and especially their pitching staff. A chance today for a 4-game sweep. Young swings and misses. There's that changeup we were talking about earlier. He's quickly disposed of 2 outs. Back to the top of the order. Well, coming on Friday, it's the Kingdom Fanny Pack Hat Night. First 10,000 fans will take it home thanks to Global Credit Union. Mariners.com/tickets. A quick road trip for the Mariners coming up beginning tomorrow. Just 3 games in San Diego. And then more of the division continues. The Rangers and then the A's on the next homestand. Donovan, a deep drive out to right field into the gap, and it's flagged down by Cam Smith. Tell you what, he doesn't look like a former third baseman playing out there in right field. He plays it well, and he gets to 23, the best home records in baseball. Now the Mariners with the 4th best home winning percentage over that time. Some really good teams in front of them. Mariners 3-0 on this homestand. The win yesterday for the M's, their first series win. Now a chance for their first sweep. Now the ground right to JP shin high. And a quick first out.
The M's would like to get that done here today against their division rivals in the Astros. Wasn't very long ago but the Astros had their way with the Mariners.
I vaguely remember.
Times have changed. 6 in a row, including 3-game sweep back in Houston last September.
And that sweep was, of course, such an enormous turning point for the Mariners. It allowed them to go out and win their first division title since 2001. Here's Nick Allen filling in for the injured Jeremy Pena on the IL. Well, finds his counterpart, J.P. Crawford, once again. 4 pitches and 2 outs. Well, the Astros had a remarkable run. And when the Mariners went into Houston last September and swept them, it really, not only did it feel like they did, they took the division from the Astros. And it was such a momentous series because of that. And it was just days later that they won the division at home against the Rockies.
It almost gave you the feeling like the Mariners were saying, we have arrived. Yeah. This is our division.
Altuve at the plate with 2 away. And now the Mariners get to experience what it feels like to try to defend something, right? To defend the division title and go out and take it again. And they have all the talent in the world to do exactly that. This time it's Donovan's turn on the lip of the grass. Oh, George Kirby looking very sharp. Astros incredibly aggressive against Kirby so far through 3 scoreless.
No,
I don't know what that is.
Looks like a dip. Stick in a dip or something like that. I was never a fan of cotton candy. Were you?
I had one bad cotton candy experience, and I've been off it ever since. Yeah,
that's all it takes.
But I understand those who are are infatuated with it. Cal at the plate, but Cal could put away some cotton candy. 1 ball and 1 strike. Cal a single and a run scored back in that 3-run first inning for the Mariners. How many takes on the copyright?
1.
1 good one or 1 in total?
1 in total.
Really?
Yeah. I gave him 3 options.
So 3 takes.
No. Well, I gave the broadcaster voice. This copyright.
Okay.
And then I did the speed up. He said, do it a little.
Micro machine guy?
Do it a little faster. So then I did the.
Yep.
And then I took it a little slower on the 3rd.
Was that what we just heard?
Yes.
That was great.
Not my first rodeo.
Not my first copyright. Here comes the 2-2.
I'm trying to figure out why that hasn't been done before. Tape the copyright so it's done every night. Right? I mean, what a genius idea, Curtis, our producer.
I have no explanation.
Well, for so many years, the load is always on the play-by-play guy, right? You've got all the reads that, you know, some days it'd be like 20 reads up there on the window.
And I memorize all of them, which makes it even more complicated. Rolled over, first base. The skims to Walker, and whoa, infield base hit. Cal Raleigh does a little bit of everything.
Oh, that's a beautiful thing for Cal. Things look like they're starting to go his way. This is a changeup he hits right off the end of the bat. Now take a look. Burrows right there stops because he thinks Walker's going to pick it up and try to get to first base. And that hesitation allows Cal to come up with his second base hit.
Look at UI in the background.
Was he excited or what?
Here's Julio. I mean, for every 110-mile-an-hour rocket right to the third baseman, you got to love when something like that goes your way as a hitter.
Well, there's that old saying, they even out. No, they don't. No, they don't. Trust me. They don't even out. Those line drives right to the fielders, whether it's in the outfield or the infield. But I tell you what, those right there that Cal just had, they feel really good when you're struggling. Like, okay.
Shallow right field, Cam Smith and Altuve. It's the second baseman, Jose Altuve. 1 out, 1 on. Our Chevy Silverado drive of the game. We take you back to Naylor's first AB in the first inning.
He crushes this pitch right here. Cal's on third. Julio's on second. Looking to drive something to the big part of the yard, and he does just that. Travels a little bit further over the wall out there for a home run number 1.
Bats here with Cal at first base. Slugged. Center field. Back. He's got another one. Josh Naylor has homered on back-to-back pitches. His second of the day.
Well, getting that first home run will certainly put a skip in your step. And Josh Naylor goes back to back.
He's making up for lost time.
That ball was hammered. Got that fastball very similar to the first pitch he hit over the wall. This one right down Broadway, belt high, and he does not miss it. Woo, that went way up into the seats.
.433 feet, 112 off the bat. Naylor has driven in all 5 runs for the Mariners. His first multi-homer game with the M's. Oh, 2 on Randy.
Yeah, both those home runs came off of fastballs from Burrows. I know we were talking about him using his changeup more against the left-handers. A couple of mistakes though to Naylor. This put him in the hole 5-0. Have a day, Josh Naylor.
Correa has it by the shoes. 2 outs.
Well, we've seen Josh Naylor come out early just about every day, trying to find that rhythm and timing and find that stroke. That's quite like when you put the time in and that work starts to show the fruit of your labor.
A broken bat. It might work out for him. Let's see. And it does. It short hops to Cam Smith. The Mariners have been putting the ball in play. It's already their 7th hit.
And the M's are getting it done in multiple ways. With the long ball, with some balls that have not been hit very hard. Cal Raleigh with a couple of base hits, soft base hits. And Luke Raley right here dumping one out right in front of the right fielder.
2 outs and a man on for JP. We got a challenge coming here.
The catcher is challenging the pitch.
And it was a strike.
The pitch is a strike. Houston has 2 remaining.
Raley dives back in. For Burrows this year, that's already now 4 home runs to lefties. That's just his 4th start. He made 19 starts last year with the Pirates. JP off the end of the bat, and it's going to be Correa to scoop it up to retire the side. Well, Naylor a 3-run home run in the first, and here in the third, a 2-run dinger. We've seen this a couple of times for Josh. The double bat flip. It's that kind of day so far. Well, plenty of run support for George Kirby today. Already 5-0 Mariners beginning the 4th inning, and Kirby just 30 pitches to get through the first 3 innings. Facing Yordan Alvarez to begin the 4th.
Kirby's picked up right where he left off against the Texas Rangers. After going 8 innings down there, looks like he's on his way to another game where he's going to go deep.
Gets ahead of Alvarez 1-2. Yordan has homered twice in this series. And already has 6 on the season. He does not go. Full count. That's the first 3-ball count today from George.
It's a tough guy to get to chase. Just really knows the strike zone so well.
Gets him to pop up over to third base. Donovan camps underneath it. And a dangerous bat retired to the Ford Sports Desk. Ryan?
Yeah, George Kirby, Val talked about that start against the Rangers, able to go 8 innings. His ground ball rate is absolutely gone through the roof. The sinker and the four seam up around 68% for both of those pitches. Already seen 6 ground balls today. It's a good sign. We saw him last year with that shoulder issue. He had a tough time just with that release point. Just trying to get that good feel for it, but everything getting underneath his hands from these hitters and getting some quick outs.
Yeah, for the season, now it's granted it's just 3 starts and 20 innings, but he's at a 60% ground ball rate, which is very high.
Right.
Now, see if you can hold that or somewhere close to it. But if you're in that neighborhood, you're destined to be top 5 in baseball, if not close to number 1, as this ground ball gets through. And Paredes has himself another oppo base hit.
Look how far Josh Naylor is off of the line. This is because, again, Paredes is a dead pull hitter. I don't think I've ever seen him hit 2 balls to the right side in a game before.
Is that why they threw that ball back? Hey, for context on the ground ball rate as Walker climbs in. Last year, Jose Soriano of the Angels, who's off to a terrific start this year, he led the majors in ground ball rate at 65%. He was the only guy in baseball that had a ground ball rate that started with a 6.
Wow.
That was a qualified starter. Framber Valdez, the former Astro, for the longest time has been one of the best at keeping it on the ground, and he was just under 59% last year, 3rd best in the majors. So at least early on this year, Kirby's been kind of in that class for a guy that has not historically been an elite ground ball pitcher.
What was his rate last year in 2025? I think oftentimes ground balls come from quality locations of your pitches. Kirby likes it. Kirby likes to throw that fastball across the top of the zone, the 4-seamer, but it's that sinker that he gets a lot of ground balls with.
Yeah, he was around 42% last year, Val. I think too with George Kirby, we've seen this, man, where he gets a little frustrated if he's not, making those pitches. He ends up middle of the plate. Or that pitch right there is such a dominant swing and miss. But getting deeper in the games, getting some of those weak ground balls to go along with that, man, you'll get 7, 8 innings pretty much easier than what we're seeing, especially last year after that shoulder injury.
Well, hard to believe that's his first strikeout today, but you think about it, a lot of these Astros hitters haven't even seen 3 pitches.
They're swinging.
As is Correa, who fouls away the first pitch. It's a strategy that makes, quite frankly, a lot of sense against George. It can just easily backfire on you if you don't end up getting a lot of hits off of George. You find yourself, well, Kirby right now, this will be his 45th pitch, and he's 1 pitch away from going 4 innings already. He's been cruising.
Yeah, when he has good command of his pitches, he's not just throwing the ball right down the middle. So these guys are going up there aggressive. He's making a good pitch, and they're just not squaring it up.
Well, Correa swinging at a high fastball that time, 98 above the zone. Carver setting up outside. A chop off the plate and foul.
I tell you what, too, fellas. I mean, look, there's nothing better than 4-seam at the top of the strike zone, blowing doors off a hitter. But man, you can have that combination of that safety net when you feel like that one pitch or that one spot in the strike zone where you can just get that weak contact, especially too. You got a tough hitter at the plate or runners on. Man, there's no better feeling when you get the combination of that soft contact to go along with that swing and miss.
Well, he's facing Correa here, who has swung at all 4 pitches that he's thrown him. Two outs, Paredes at first base. A wave and a miss. Chasing that slider. Correa in swing mode. And Kirby makes some pay. Some fans are taking home the Randy Johnson 80s jersey thanks to T-Mobile. You can pick up your tickets at mariners.com/tickets.
I remember that jersey, that style. That was our BP tops.
Oh, okay.
Little mesh.
Old Mariner font. All right, so you backed up Pudge Rodriguez in Texas, and I think you can probably relate to what Mitch Garver is going through.
Yes, yes. In fact, pull up my stats.
You mean the lack of them?
Yes, exactly. 95 and 96, I was backing up Pudge, who played. Man, I don't know how he did it in that heat.
Now, did you get paid for these seasons?
No.
You got a paycheck?
No. It was volunteer work.
Garver swings and misses. All right, so these are the last 2 years of your career.
The way I describe it is I felt like I was a backup NFL quarterback who played about every third week, every third Sunday. I'd maybe get a chance.
Pudge, of course, the Hall of Famer, one of the all-timers. All right, so in 1995.
How many games?
You played in 36 games.
Yeah, baby.
Now, were you on the roster the whole year?
Yes, of course.
Cole Young is out. And they thought, they saw enough of you, Val, in 95. They thought, we should play him more.
Absolutely.
The next year. So your final year, you played 42 games.
That's right. That's why we won the West.
The backup catcher. I mean, how hard is that, though, when you're hardly playing at all?
It's just so difficult. I mean, you have to put the work in between the times that you get that opportunity. But there were times I stepped into the batter's box and it felt like I was in a foreign place. No feel, no rhythm, no timing. But you got to find a way. And the only way you do that is by keeping yourself ready. And remember, the heat down in Texas, if you're not used to playing and all of a sudden you go out there and it's 105 degrees, it's tough to get through a full 9 innings. In fact, the time that I recall vividly was the Sunday before the All-Star game, 1995. The All-Star game was in Texas. So Johnny Oates comes up to me and said, "Hey, Val, Pudge is going to be in the All-Star game. We're playing the Yankees. Mariano Rivera is starting." And yes, I did say that. He was starting at that time. It was 108 degrees at the game time. By the second inning, I was so drenched in sweat that the sweat was going down into my shoes, and I wore mesh shoes, and the liquid was coming out of my shoes. Yes.
That might have been right on the chalk. Donovan works a base hit, and he stands up at second. Everything's falling for the Mariners today.
Good things happen when you put that ball in play. Donovan gets that two-seamer down and away, probably out of the strike zone, and just flips it out there. Ball landing right on the chalk.
I found the box score from this game.
Did you?
Okay. It was 102 degrees with a 15-mile-an-hour wind. So you're just staring into a hairdryer. It was a 4-hour game, by the way.
I got pulled.
12 innings. Yeah,
I got pulled, I think, after 9, and thank God, because I don't think I would have been able to finish it.
Yeah, my favorite part of this game is that Pudge came in for you.
Yes. Take that, Pudge. I went in right afterward, and like my entire body went into just cramps. I mean, I was drinking everything. It didn't matter how much liquid you were taking. I was drinking Pedialyte just to try to keep the fluids in me. Behind that mask, you felt like you were just suffocating. But I had 3 weeks to recover, so we're good. We're good.
Yeah, that was on July 9th of 1995.
Randy started that All-Star game in 1995.
You played in 12 games the rest of the season, Val.
That's right.
So they
I was
eased you back in.
overworked and underpaid.
I'll tell you what, though, for a guy who played 12 times in a span from July 19th to September 4th, you hit 316.
Take that.
That's hard to do, man.
It was
hard to do.
It was especially hard for me.
That's impressive. You know, you would never do that to a young player, obviously. A young player has to play. But for a veteran, a seasoned player near the end of your career, teams feel much more comfortable, but that doesn't mean that it's easy.
Well, number one, it's kind of embracing your role. I knew that I'm playing behind a Hall of Famer, future Hall of Famer at the time. Bud just strapped it on every single day. I remember days when I knew he was tired, like on the 2 Sundays that I didn't start. He'd come in the morning. He's like, "What's wrong? Why can't you play?" I said, "Brother, if you need a day off, you're going to have to walk in there and tell him I need a day off, because otherwise he's going to put you down there every single game."
This is in the air to Smith to retire the side. I'd say you did all right. Season ticket plan in baseball. Mariners.com/flex. Strike one to Cam Smith.
Kirby just landing all of his pitches in the strike zone.
I was going to say a rare at bat where an Astro hitter's taken the first 2 pitches, and look where he finds himself.
Two sliders in a row for strike 2. That's a good take right there. That ball was in the strike zone for quite a while.
Lined into right field for a base hit. Cam Smith has been one of the bright spots during this skid for the Astros. He's really seen the ball well. He's aboard now. A message from Jack in the Box.
Get my new Smash Jack Sliders Munchie Meal for a chance to win $75,000.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
Here is Trammell. Trammell hits it hard on the ground, finds a hole on the left side, and the Astros have stacked a couple of base runners for the first time today.
Well, Trammell wasting no time, jumping on that first pitch. Little knuckle curve on the outside, left it a little bit up. Kirby threw 4 consecutive sliders to Cam Smith. Started Trammell off with another breaking ball.
Garver out. Nobody out, 2 on. Here's Yainer Diaz. A wave and a miss. Well, this is a rocket to the gap, and this will put the Astros on the board. Smith, a turnaround third. He scores standing. Yainer Diaz makes it 5-1 Mariners.
Interesting that Kirby has thrown 7 sliders. I'm sorry, 7 breaking pitches, including this slider. This pitch doesn't have a lot of movement. Kind of stays up in the strike zone as Diaz punches it out there in the center field.
Yeah, so many righties in this lineup. I mean, first couple of starts, I know it's only start number 4 for George, but lefties here has been dominating, you know, with that changeup and that sinker in. Righties have been a little bit of an issue, but this is one thing with George Kirby and that slider.
Well, here's a fastball. The sinker gets to double play. It also allows Trammell to score. Mariners give up a run to get 2 outs.
Yeah, that slider. Sometimes I spoke to Pete Woodworth about this. George goes through these phases where he just cannot get those fingers on top of that pitch. And again, going back to that, we talked about this last inning, just getting that weak contact. I know they scored that second run, but just all of a sudden, you're an out away, a couple pitches away from getting through a massive jam. But just with that slider, he falls in love with that pitch a lot, but sometimes his hand kind of gets on the side of it, and that ball kind of spins middle of the plate, just like that one right there.
Yeah, I've never really liked in the middle of a game to throw 4 consecutive pitches of the same type of pitch.
Even if they're different breaking balls?
Well, no, he threw 4 sliders to Cam Smith, so the first 2 were strikes, but they kind of rolled in for strikes, right? They didn't have a real sharpness to them. He came back 2 more times. Ultimately, on the 4th one, he ended up shooting that ball to right field for a base hit. But I think hitters, when you see that many of the same pitch, your mind just gets into that timing of it, and you're seeing it. It's the 4th time.
Facing Altuve here with 2 outs and the base is now empty.
Remember, Cam Smith on the 0-2 pitch, he took a really good slider and spit on it. It was just down off the zone. So all of a sudden, he's got that timing down of that particular pitch. That's why you'll hear people and pitching coaches say, oh, I want to change his eyesight.
Ground ball, Crawford by the bag and in time. Couple of runs in for the Astros. Mariners maintain the lead going to the bottom of the 5th. Josh Naylor will bat. A couple of home runs already today. Last Mariner with 3 home runs in a game, in a home game for the Mariners, was Edgar Martinez. Yeah, right there, number 11. That was in May of '99 against the Twins. No Mariner has ever hit 3 home runs in a game at T-Mobile Park. Julio, he is really having a nice series. His 2nd hit today, a firm base hit through the left side, and that brings up Naylor.
Yeah, that timing starting to show up for Julio.
Naylor has never had a 3-homer game. In fact, in the history of this great ballpark, which opened up midway through the 1999 season, only 1 player has ever hit 3 home runs in a game at T-Mobile Park. It was Victor Martinez in 2004. Trying to lose that one. Strike 1.
A good changeup from Burrows. Naylor with all 5 RBIs today. Cal waiting for number 3 for Naylor.
Two balls and a strike. 3-run home run in the first, a 2-run homer in the 3rd.
Burrows certainly going after Naylor a little bit differently this time around. Everything soft and down and away. Those first 2 home runs, both of them came on fastballs on the inner half.
There have only been 12 Mariners ever to homer 3 times in a game. Gets underneath this one. Altuve drifting into foul ground. 1 away. Home run number 3 will have to wait. Dom Canzone, by the way, was the latest Mariner to hit 3 homers in a game. He did that last September in Kansas City.
It's quite the feat.
When you talk 3 home runs by a Mariner, you have to talk about 4 and Mike Cameron.
Back in Chicago, him and Brett Boone started that.
That's a ground ball to Walker at first. Julio was off with the pitch, so he's into second.
Brett Boone and Mike Cameron went back to back the first 2 home runs. And those all in the first inning. And Cammy on his last at bat, I was calling that game, flew out to deep center field right in front of the wall. What an amazing I think it was a night game. Amazing night for Mike Cameron.
Incredible. Raley at the plate. 5-2 Mariners. I talked to Cammy in spring training. We were chopping it up a little bit in the food room, and I said, "Hey Cammy, when did you start playing the outfield full time?" And he said, "Sophomore year in high school." I was like, "Oh, you seem upset about it." He said, "I was a shortstop, and the coach moved me to the outfield."
Smart coach.
And I said, "Hey, Cammy, it worked out pretty okay for you, man." Like, he still held a grudge against his high school coach for moving him off a short.
One of the great athletes in Seattle Mariner history.
A beloved Mariner. I mean, you talk about making a big impact in a relatively short period of time as a Mariner. That was Mike Cameron.
He kind of warmed himself up on day 1, opening day. Robbed a home run out there in center field.
Taking over for Junior out there.
Yes, not an easy task.
This is into right field, base hit. Julio's on his way home. Cam Smith with no throw, and the Mariners get one of those runs back. Luke Raley's having a nice series as well. It's 6-2 M's.
But Luke in that first at bat hit a broken bat base hit to right. This time he gets that slider down. This little one hopper right past a diving Altuve. Plenty of time for Julio to come around and score.
To the point, 6 hits this series for that man, Luke Raley. JP fouls it away. Mariners have scored in 3 of the first 5 innings today. First run to score on something other than a Josh Naylor homer, and this is challenged.
The catcher is challenging the pitch.
He has won 1 earlier today. See if he gets another. He does.
The pitch is a strike. Houston has 2 remaining.
And both of those have come against J.P. Crawford. JP has 7 walks in the last 3 games. A lot of the Mariner players, offensive players, are starting to find something during this series.
This is into right center field. Crawford a base hit. Raley is into third, and the Mariners keep the line moving. They've got him on the corners with 2 outs.
Talked about JP getting that rhythm down. This is a 2-seamer that's elevated out over the plate. And he just rips it right back through the middle. Luke Raley moving on over to third base.
This will bring out Joshua Miller, their pitching coach, who has been wearing a path. I don't know. Grounds crew might be busy on that pathway from the visiting dugout to the mound here at T-Mobile Park after today. Honestly, though, if you're Joe Espada, you're just happy you've got your starting pitcher still in there in the 5th inning.
Absolutely. We talked yesterday about it. At some point, somebody's got to take the bullet for the team and just eat up some of the innings, as their bullpen has been decimated, overworked.
Well, with the Amai landing on the injured list today, they now have 3 starting pitchers on the injured list. Here's Garver. Pops up the first pitch straight away, shallow center. Altuve underneath with 2 hands to retire the side. But Raley, a RBI base hit, and the Mariners extend the lead through 5. Apparel also. Be sure to check them out.
Gear has come a long way, hasn't it? The incredible merchandise that MLB puts out there now.
I thought I saw some Dave Valley jerseys in the crowd the other day.
Every once in a while, they pop up.
And I realized it was a Celtic jersey.
Oh, that hurts. That really hurts.
Like, oh, there. Oh, no. They're close. Ball and a strike to Alvarez, leading things off in the 6th inning. Kirby's done a nice job stranding him in the on-deck circle a couple of times today. He led off the 4th and does so again here in the 6th. Two and 2. Straightens him up with 97. See if Donovan's got room. Foul ground on the track. Yes, he does. Time for a message for the Washington beef farmers and ranchers.
Win or lose, it's really about how you feed the game, right? Together, we bring more. Beef, it's what's for dinner.
You're Don Alvarez. Yeah, you know, you did the copyright. That might be.
I think I should do some more of those, don't you?
Washington beef farmers and ranchers might be calling you now once they heard your copyright.
Well, I know you like beef.
We got a ham and cheese day.
You must have brought that from home.
Wait till I give you a ribeye, my friend.
What's your favorite cut?
Oh, rib.
Other than the hamburger that you eat just about every night.
Definitely ribeye.
Really?
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Do you buy the cow or you buy it at the store?
I buy both.
Oh, what was the name of your last cow?
Ribeye. Ball and 2 strikes.
Ribeye's a little too fatty for me.
You're telling me a man of your size and stature is a fillet guy?
Yeah, I mean, so in my household growing up, 8 kids, single mom. I lost my dad early. When we did have meat, I would drive my mother crazy because I would cut off every little piece of fat, every vein, work all the way around.
Okay.
You know? Just
you just weren't. You want to know part of that?
My mom was one of those people who loved fat, so she would like chew on like this strip off of a New York steak.
Okay, yeah.
You know, just and I'm like, oh, I just can't do that.
Swing and a miss. 97-mile-an-hour fastball. Can you always be sure to make that sound effect at some point during the game?
Good location right there on that fastball, painting it down and away. Nothing you can do with that pitch as a right-handed hitter, except maybe get lucky.
So this isn't just a recent thing for you. This is lifelong.
Lifelong, yeah.
Aversion.
Yeah. She used to try to trick us with liver too. Oh, it's steak. I'm like, that doesn't taste like it. Oh, the things we put Mama through.
2 outs and nobody on.
So filet. I like filet. I'm a filet guy.
I mean, you must need like the biggest filet on the menu.
No. 8 ounces is good.
You've already, because you've eaten four containers of soft serve beforehand to fill you up.
Well, certain steakhouses have really good bread. And like one of my favorite is actually down in Houston. They've got this pretzel bread at Astros. Oh my goodness. It's like, just give me 3 pretzel breads with hard butter. I don't like soft butter. I like the hard butter on a hot pretzel bread.
You're an animal.
So good.
So you don't like the fat, but you want hard butter?
Yes. It's got to be firm. You got to send it back if it's not firm. Then I take a couple of strips of filet, put it in the pretzel bread, and have like the greatest sandwich you could ever even imagine. Yes, in the restaurant. I'd make a sandwich.
You've lost me 3 turns ago. Are you going to buy a $90 filet and stuff it in a pretzel?
Yes. Yes. It's so good. Try it.
I won't, but I will.
We'll be in Houston together. Maybe we'll give that a shot. You're buying, by the way.
Strike 3. I'll take 3 pretzels and your most expensive filet. And watch what this animal will do with it. Kirby dealing. Mariners the lead. Strike 1-2 Cole Young beginning the bottom of the 6th inning. 6-2 Mariners, highlighted by a pair of Josh Naylor home runs. Mariners have won 3 straight games for the first time this year. Meanwhile, the Astros are on a 7-game slide. Two and two. And the Mariners are trying to sweep Houston for the 2nd consecutive series, dating back to their last meeting in September last season, when they swept Houston in 3 games. Straightaway center field finds Trammell. Doesn't have to move a whole lot. 1 away. We've got Cal Raleigh's 70s jersey night to the first 15,000 fans. Brought to you by Virginia Mason Franciscan Health. This is on Saturday, 4:15 first pitch. A little different first pitch time. That'll be a nationally televised game on Fox. That's the reason for the start time. Mariners.com/tickets. Leadoff man retired in front of Donovan. Burrows is beginning to get to 90 pitches. He's close. JP France was just recalled. He was sent out and now brought back.
I'm guessing he never left the state.
They were able to do that because of the injury to Amai, who was placed on the IL today. 3-2. Cal Raleigh on deck, and if he reaches, Julio will bat this inning. And the Astros and the Blue Jays right now, 2 of the most beat up teams in baseball. Blue Jays have numerous pitchers on the IL, and they just lost former Astro George Springer with a broken toe. Springer, who had a renaissance year last season, as Donovan reaches for the 2nd time, he draws a walk. Alejandro Kirk is going to miss some significant time with a fractured thumb.
And that's one of the most unpredictable things, is the health during the course of a baseball season. And typically the teams that go on to win are the ones who stay healthy.
And one thing we haven't seen a lot of today, unlike the previous 3 days, walks. That's just the first walk today issued by Burrows. He has given up 11 hits, though. Alvarez comes in on it. Medium depth makes the catch. 2 outs. Here's Julio. Julio's been aboard twice today. It's now a 10-game on-base streak. He has doubled and singled. Now that is in back of being aboard 3 times yesterday.
I'm thinking back, and I believe it was the 116-game win season. I believe the Mariner rotation never missed a start that entire year. You could probably double check me on that.
Well, the Mariners are the last team to have 5 starting pitchers make every start without the need of a 6th starter. They're pretty close to that a couple of years ago. It was a remarkable feat, and something you can't even really dream of. Does he go? No, he does not.
Julio putting together some really good at-bats here this afternoon. He's got 7 hits in this series.
Correa charges this over to first base. Julio is out, number 3, 6 in the books. And an Astros starter going 6 innings. Mariners leading 6-2 beginning of the 7th inning. A lot of first pitch strikes from George Kirby today, and a lot of ground outs. 8 of them, in fact. He faces Carlos Correa. Correa 1 for 2 with a single and a strikeout. You know, it's so hard, no matter what the quality or caliber of the opposing team is, to sweep a team in 4 games.
Absolutely.
So hard to do.
And the Mariners have done it, or trying to do it, in a masterful fashion.
You think about this game from the Astros perspective, or this series rather, after you lost the first 2, you still had to face that guy Gilbert, and then today Kirby. And I think it's easy for us to kind of lose sight of the depth of this rotation and how there is not an easy day, right? You can look at some teams and say, well, hey, we just missed their ace,
right,
and their number 2 because they pitched yesterday and the day before, and now we're going to face the backside of the rotation. There is no backside of the rotation for the Mariners.
And I think that's what's so daunting for the opposing team when they look at the Mariners and they think, oh my gosh, we got to go to Seattle and play a 4-game series, when there really is no let up throughout this starting rotation.
That's been a high octane fastball all day for Kirby. 96 miles an hour. He struck out the last 3 now.
Yeah, he still has tremendous velocity. 97 miles an hour right across the top. Correa, who's been getting that bat moving all afternoon, he's not afraid to swing. Goes after one out of the zone.
Smith, a deep fly out to Raley and straightaway right field, backs him up towards the wall. You know, if anything, the Astros could say, hey, we're lucky we're missing Wu. Right? You miss Wu and you're still facing the other four, and the Mariners are in prime position for a sweep now.
Well, and finally the Mariners have broken out offensively after scoring only 40 runs in their first 13 games coming into today. They had 23 in this series, now with 29.
Brian Wu will be the Padres' problem. He goes tomorrow in game 1. It's a great pitching matchup. Will not be easy on either side. Wu versus Michael King. Hancock and Castillo to follow. Check swing foul. 0-2 on Trammell. Not to be lost in a 6-run effort for the Mariners, what George Kirby is doing today. On an 0-2. Strike 3 call. George Kirby, a 97-mile-an-hour fastball right over the heart of the plate to lock him up. Kirby gave them that. Our Muckleshoot Casino Resort Pin report as JP France takes over. Last 4 games, 25 2/3 innings, and about a walk-in inning to go along with that for these Astros relievers.
Yeah, 20 runs in those 25 innings.
Correa in foul ground. Naylor out on the first pitch from France. Here comes Arozarena. Every big bat, quote unquote, in the lineup for the Mariners in this series has had a moment, right? You've seen a home run from Cal, the first home run for Julio, the upper deck home run from Randy earlier in this series. Today, Naylor, the 2 home runs. Feels like a real jumping off point. Deep fly out to Smith in right field, and there is out number 2. On May 2nd, the Mariners are retiring Randy Johnson's number 51. It's presented by T-Mobile. Mariners do these celebrations and ceremonies better than anybody. Mariners.com/big unit. We hope to see you here. 2 down for Luke Raley.
Luke having a nice afternoon. A couple of base hits to get going. You're talking about these Mariner bats.
Another knock for Raley in this series.
Having a moment right there. Luke Raley with his 3rd hit of the season. Anytime you get off to a slow start, Mariners had their core of their offense really struggling. As Luke gets this fastball right out over the plate, hits it a little bit off the end of the bat, but ends out safely out there in shallow right field. So you have your core struggling, and you always think, hey, we know it's going to turn around. We know who Cal Raleigh is. We know who Julio Rodriguez is. But it seemed like this was the series where guys started to put it together, including JP when he got inserted into that leadoff spot. Had some great at-bats. He's got 7 walks in this series. And Julio, a guy that notoriously is a slow starter, has really exploded in this series.
Two outs, Raley at first base. JP cracks this deep out to center field. Trammell backing up on it. right at the base of the warning track to make the catch. Raley single stranded, 7 complete, 6-2 Mariners. Fantastic day. His out pitches so far this afternoon, Val.
He's used them all. I mean, this is a guy that's going to unload everything that he's got. But the command that he has, he's thrown 85 pitches so far here today. 62 of them have been for strikes.
Young with a diving catch. Cole Young taking a hit away.
Well, the Astros continue to jump on that first pitch, putting it in play. Cole Young ready right here. A couple of steps and a dive to his left. Great play by the young second baseman.
He has really played a strong second base early this year. 106 off the bat. So Kirby back out on the mound to work the 8th inning. Pitch count beginning to near 90. Bullpen is up. Spire and Brash. Top of the lineup is due up next after Allen here. Both those guys getting yesterday off. Dan Wilson not messing around today, up by 4. A couple of his leverage arms getting loose. Mariners have a chance for the 4-game sweep. Two and 1. Loperfido pinch hitting. This is down the line and foul, just foul. One out, nobody on. Kirby's 2-2. Just missing in. There were only 2 lefty bats in this lineup today for the Astros. Loperfido, the only left-handed hitter on the bench. 3-2. Ground ball off the mound. Crawford dives, gets up, on strike to first. It's just beyond Naylor, and it's kicked by Loperfido up the line. Naylor had to extend for it, and Loperfido is aboard.
Great play by J.P. Crawford over at short, diving to his backhand. But remember, Loperfido, one of the fastest guys in baseball, beats it out easily. Great effort by the shortstop.
And here comes Altuve.
Kirby has not lost any velocity, still throwing 97 here in the top of the 8th.
A wild swing and a miss on a slider. 0-1.
That might have been one of the best sliders we saw from Kirby here this afternoon.
Now we know this, things can get real fast with the Astros.
That guy.
He is looming on deck. 0-2 now. Yordan Alvarez waiting his turn.
There's that guy.
Astros 3rd in baseball in runs per game, 3rd in homers. No team has more extra base hits than Houston this year. You wouldn't be able to tell the last couple of games. Big pitch on an 0-2. Ground ball. Young takes it there. Option pass. Crawford to first. Not in time. Altuve beats it out. 2 down.
Tough to double Altuve off when his ball's not hit very hard. M's do everything they need to do to try to make it happen. Altuve, slow hit ball and good speed. Tough to double up.
And here comes Dan. Spire is ready in the bullpen. Well, this has been a masterful afternoon for George Kirby. He has largely dominated the Astros today. What will Dan do? George is doing a lot of the talking, and he's staying with them.
Danny Wilson going out to the mound, trying to listen to what Kirby had to say before making that decision. Showing a lot of confidence in the right-hander. That pitch count just at 95.
First pitch to Alvarez. Just high. Alvarez 0 for 3, his 4th time facing Kirby today. Way outside.
Got a small sample size here, but maybe this goes into that decision for Danny Wilson against left-handed pitchers this year, hitting .524. Kirby still looking fresh out there, good velocity.
And some wild reverse splits. This is maybe the first 3-0 count we've seen today from George.
There's those career numbers against Kirby, just hitting just 173.
He walked him on 4 pitches. Some frustration on Kirby's face. And now here comes Dan. Now Kirby frustrated after walking Alvarez with a chance to go a full 8. It's 7 2/3, 99 pitches for Kirby. Absolutely pounding the strike zone again today. And holding the Astros to just a pair of runs. George Kirby, magnificent as always today inside T-Mobile Park. George Kirby today as he goes into the 8th. 2 runs responsible for both runners on base. First pitch strikes, Val, 22 of 29.
Just an absolutely amazing afternoon for Mr. Kirby. That command was from first pitch to the last pitch. He ultimately walks Alvarez, which was kind of a surprise based on everything. But he was landing his fastball, his slider, his knuckle curve, his changeup.
Brash, the new pitcher, on to face Paredes here.
Brash has appeared in 6 games so far, 5.2 innings, has yet to give up an earned run.
He inherits a couple of runners, 2 outs. Ball and a strike.
Paredes with a couple of base hits to the right side.
First fastball he's shown him misses up, 2-1. Line left field, Arozarena backing up on it, makes the catch. Rockets $12. There are still plenty of value game opportunities on deck, including on the next homestand. All 3 games against the Athletics, April 20 to the 22nd. Mariners.com/value games. Garver leads it off. JP France remains on the mound.
We were talking about Mitch earlier in the ball game regarding the fact that he's not playing a lot. The one thing when you're not playing a lot and you do get the chance to play, there's no better feeling than to walk off the field with a W in your pocket. And for him and the way he worked with Kirby here this afternoon.
Ball finds the new man. Shea Whitcomb just put into the game, called up today. One down. Now Garver 1 for 4 today with that fantastic work behind the plate with George Kirby. Here's Cole Young. Does not go around. 2 balls and a strike.
We had Cole Young on before the ball game. Ryan was doing the interview. One of the things that kind of struck me was talking about his routine. He's like, yeah, I woke up and got here at 9 o'clock, had breakfast. And I was like, the difference, right? He was talking about getting to the big leagues and what it was like. I think back to my days as when I first got to the big leagues, and it was like breakfast. Like you were lucky if there was donuts on the table. Like that was a good day.
Broken bat over to Walker at first. 2 outs. Well, after you flipped all the spreads, didn't they just stop putting the food out? Isn't that?
Come on, I only flipped it a few times. The old saying of, yeah, grab a sinker. They call them donut sinkers, so you could hit the sinker here this afternoon. Mariners have done just that. 12 hits on the afternoon.
Just a 4-game homestand. Mariners in San Diego tomorrow for 3. Only a 3-game road trip. This is through the left side for a base hit. Multi-hit day for Donovan. He reaches for the 3rd time in total. 2-out single.
Good to see Donovan chip in right here. This pitch is well off the plate, but he stays with it. Short, compact,
as he serves it out there to left field. You mentioned that short road trip. It is kind of odd, right? Just a 3-game road trip. But the Mariners are playing the Astros twice this year with 4 games, 4-game series. This one here, and then down in Houston, there'll be another 4-game set.
Mariners will be going to St. Louis, not this road trip, but the next one. So Donovan should get a nice ovation when he returns back to the ball club that drafted and developed him. A fan favorite there inside Busch Stadium.
That's your hometown, isn't it?
It is.
I'm sure there'll be.
Oh, it'll be equally warm reception. They'll probably save me for afterwards.
Yeah, they'll be lined up before the game.
2-1.
What's it like for you to go there?
You know, it is fun just because I saw so many games in that ballpark as a fan, even though that is a relatively newer ballpark. This chases Trammell back, but he's got enough room. But good memories nonetheless. Side retired to the 9th inning. The Mariners 3 outs away from a 4-game swing in Game 1. Tremendous pitching matchup. Hancock on a Wednesday, and then an hour earlier start on getaway day. Luis Castillo going up against Walker Buehler. Another good pitching matchup there. 3 games at beautiful Petco. Oh, tinkering with something over there.
Looks like the change-up grip. A little circle change, they call it.
Cole Wilcox on the mound. Swing and a miss to Christian Walker. I'll tell you what is the biggest storyline with the Padres right now. Mason Miller, their flame-throwing closer, has struck out 19 of 24 batters faced. Wow. He's given up 1 hit, 1 walk, 19 strikeouts, 24 batters faced. Just insanity.
Nothing quite like when you have a automatic closer. You know what, he's going to go out there and get those 3 outs, but doing it in that fashion is pretty amazing.
Try not to fall behind.
Now that's the kind of guy you go up there swinging. Like, if I see a pitch I can put a bat on, I'm swinging. You don't want to sit back and work the count against someone that's throwing 100+.
Two outside, full count. It might not be too long of a leash for Wilcox. Munoz is warming up. 4-run lead. Mariners closer getting ready if needed. Mariners 3 outs away from a 4-game sweep. And they missed badly. Watch, the first guy he faces, not what Cole Wilcox wanted to do. Here comes Correa.
And you know, Dan Wilson does not want to have to bring in Munoz to close this game out. Save him for that Padres series.
Slider lands for a strike. Out to the alleyway, right center field, driven deep. Raley is in front of the track, and he makes the catch. First out of the 9th inning. Wilcox was called up at the very beginning of the season when Carlos Vargas went on the injured list after opening day. Wilcox had made only 1 major league appearance in his career prior to this season. It was last year with Tampa Bay, an offseason acquisition by the M's. A lively arm, as you can see. 98-mile-an-hour fastball. Former college teammates with Emerson Hancock at Georgia. And he falls behind 2-0. Cam Smith is probably one of the better number 6 hitters going right now in the game.
He's had a nice little series here against the Mariners.
2-1. Evens the count. Smith, the former first-round draft pick, 14th overall by the Cubs. Traded to the Astros in the Kyle Tucker deal. Had a 4-hit game 2 days ago. Two. Out to the gap again. Raley adjusting on the warning track. Jumps, and Luke Raley makes the catch up against the wall.
This ball off the bat of Cam Smith has some carry to it. Raley tracking back, makes that jump right in front of the wall.
Boy, that would have been close, wouldn't it? Right at the top of the wall. A fairly subdued Cole Wilcox, I would say. 2 outs and a man aboard. Strike one as they give Walker second base. Rolled over to first. Naylor's got it. Wilcox covers. That's the ball game. How quickly fortunes can change. The Mariners come back home and they sweep their division rival Houston Astros in 4 games. 6-2 the final today.
And the Mariners really getting some things going. That offense has really turned around against the Houston Astros here. Julio Rodriguez, a guy who's got that bat swinging. But today, what an afternoon by George Kirby. One of the co-stars of the story here. Kirby went 7 2 innings, giving up only 2 runs. But it was Josh Naylor with 2 big home runs, 5 RBIs, and that guy right there, Luke Raley, doing a little with the leather and a little bit with the lumber with 3 hits here this afternoon and an RBI.
No, just polar opposite feelings going on right now in opposing dugouts. The Mariners now flying high for the first time this year, kind of righting some of the wrongs from that last road trip. And a lot of momentum going into San Diego on the other side. An absolutely dreadful road trip where the Astros finished going 1-9. They have now lost 8 straight. They've lost 3 starting pitchers to